Let's talk about quality in the connected operations application. Digital guidance in connected operations digitalizes time-consuming inline quality checks that are typically performed by operators. Quality checks are efficiently carried out in digital forms on the shop floor with automated prompts and are digitally documented in the system. So, in short, you can improve agility and efficiency in production by linking quality management to operations. So jumping into the system here, we can navigate to this activities page by coming here and clicking on this activities icon, and that will bring you to this page here. Just to take a quick overview of what's in here, we have the activities page where you can see a full list of the activities that have been created, plus build new activities. And you have the reporting page, which is for seeing the actual performance of these quality checks that have been conducted by the operators on the line. So, taking a look at the activities page in a bit more detail, here's where you can actually build your inline quality checks. We can see the completed ones here. So if I look at this inline quality check here, I can see that the operator has been prompted to input the weight in grams from a sample taken off the line and put on a digital scale, and do a visual check using the shape sample board and a color scale. There is many more options that we can see here of completed ones, but let's look at how you can actually build a new quality check yourself. So if I come to the activity here, I can put a title such as, we can just do the same again, inline quality check. And we can give that a further description should you desire to give the operators a bit more context. Choose a location. So this could be based on, all lines in Europe, or you could go within Europe, within Denmark, and at bottling line 1, as an example. So now this inline quality check is being built specifically for bottling line 1 in the Danish site. You can have toggles here for requiring initials or allowing for a manual start. The initial is pretty self-explanatory that it will require initials in order for an operator to complete the quality check. And you can also allow for a manual start, meaning that the operator can decide themselves to do this even if not prompted by the trigger. Now, speaking of triggers, you have that option here to click and decide when are the operators or people on the line going to be prompted to complete this. We have multiple options here. We could do every X minutes, so that could be every 15 minutes after batch start or every 40 minutes after shift start, whatever that may be. Same with X units produced, same concept, but just based on number of units produced. So we could say every 500 units produced after shift start, I want them to be prompted with this inline quality check. It could also be event-based. Event-based is based on batch start, batch end, or shift start and shift end. Meaning that, if you click shift start, when they start a shift within Factbird, they will then be prompted to complete this. It can also be based on fixed time, so it could repeat daily, or it could repeat weekly at a certain time, or every Tuesday at 6 p.m. You can just have this based on a time scale rather than on an event scale. And it can also be based on downtime registration. So you could have this be prompted either when any stop cause has been registered, when a specific stop cause has been registered. So let's say you have a stop cause that is quality related. It could then, when they select that stop cause, prompt them to carry out this check. Could be by a specific stop type. So, the 4 color codes that exist within Factbird. If one of those colors has been selected, then this will be prompted. Or it could be by a specific stop category. So when you categorize your downtime, you could have a quality category, for example. When they select anything from that category, they would be prompted with the activity that you have built now. So those are the various triggers that are available to you. For the sake of building this thing, let's just put it as at shift end and save that. Here then you have the option to add elements. So you've got a lot of options here, and this is a completely customized form that you can make as long or short as you like. When you add a new block or element here to the digital form builder, you have various options in terms of what this can be. So we're looking at text here now, which would be to input text. Some that would be very relevant to a quality perspective would be this number field. So you can give this a name and say, like the weight check we looked at earlier, for example. What's super interesting here is that you can put in absolute limits, meaning that there's a max and minimum that is acceptable within this activity. So let's say we put the max value as 50 and the minimum value as 40 grams. That means that if an operator does this and they register the weight from the scale as anything less than 40 or anything greater than 50, the system will automatically capture that as a failed quality check. So you as a quality manager can start to understand automatically what percentage of your randomized quality checks are passing or failing. Some other field types that could be interesting, the instructions, the checkbox, the date, a checklist, a pass and fail. So here you have the option to either keep pass and fail as the inputs here, but you can also change those labels to be whatever it is that you would like. So if you have a system whereby the operators are doing some visual inspection or some sort of inspection that would be tough to quantify in a numeric form, you can just have them click pass or fail automatically to bypass that, so that it can say, okay, how many of our quality checks have passed and failed based on manual systems that are happening outside of Factbird. Lastly, you also can give various options or do an image upload. So let's say you've done pass fail, and then you could say if it's failed that they need to upload an image of the failed item, so you can start to log that over time. They can be prompted then with this type of block to upload an image. So, you can create one and then add another element, and you can add as many elements as you want so that the form has the flow that you are looking for your operators to go through and carry this out seamlessly. So now taking a look at how the operators actually complete these quality checks or activities. Here on the register stops page, where the operators will be spending the majority of their time, they can be prompted with these activities that you can see here just beneath the downtime reasons. Here you can see how many activities they have to do. They have one outstanding currently, and it's this inline quality check. For the operator to complete this quality check, what they have to do is just click on it, and it will bring up the text field where they will have to input the weight in grams. So let's say this time it was 90, and they've done the visual check for shape and color, and they can submit. And it's that easy for them to do it. If it falls outside of the scale, the system will automatically know that it's failed, and so they don't need to specify that. But as I said, those forms are completely custom, and so therefore you can have that set up whatever way you'd like. You can also, remember we spoke about manually triggering an activity. Here you can see start activity. You can click that, and they can select from the list of activities that are allowed to be started manually. So if they wanted to do a quality check based on they've manually taken something off the line based on a visual inspection, they can log that through an activity here. The final option for how operators can trigger this quality check is by selecting a downtime reason that has been associated with this quality check or activity. So if they were to select a quality related downtime reason that you have linked through your activity to create a certain activity to be prompted, when they select that and they're registering the downtime, as part of that registration process, they'll be prompted with the activity checklist, pass, fail, whatever it is that you've built. So lastly, let's take a look at where you can analyze the performance of these quality checks or activities. So we've looked at how you build them and how the operators actually input them, but on this reporting page, which is found in the activities section, is where you can actually see the output of this. So here we're looking at most generally over the last 8 hours, the activities that have been passed and failed. However, if you are interested specifically in the inline quality checks, you can filter for that. You can come here and click on filters, and you can click add filter, select the activity, and the activity is going to be inline quality check. Save, and now you were looking at the reporting for just inline quality checks, where you can see there's been 7 passed and 8 failed. Here you can see the different instances of them, and click on one to see it in more detail. So this inline quality check was passed, the weight was 125, the shape and color fit the bill. Here you can see this one failed because the weight was 98, which is outside of spec. However, the shape and color still passed, and so you can get some more detail on exactly what it is that was happening at each of these quality checks and store that all in one digitalized location.